Lou, it's the monster!
He's got me, bud!
Almost!
Ah! We're captured!
On today's show, we have the comedy duo that ran from ghosts and monsters for over a decade. It's Gizzy's Killer Clown Countdown of Abbott and Costello monster movies. Lou, you took the wrong turn back there. Me? The map says this way, Abbott. No, you read it upside down. Oh, sure, blame me. Is that a clown dressed as a delivery man? Is that a monster chasing Zan? Faster, Costello, they're gaining on us! They're gaining, don't look back!
Starting us off at number 8 on the countdown. We have monsters that are actually Hollywood models from Venus. Complicated, I know, but it's Abbott and Costello, so bear with me. It's 1953's Abbott and Costello Go to Mars. Lou Costello is named Orville in this movie, and is the oldest orphan at an orphanage. When some kid launches a toy airplane through a post office window, the police just happen to be right there. So, to escape being caught by the authorities, Orville does the rational thing and hides in a delivery van headed to a top-secret laboratory. Once he's discovered by the van's driver, who happens to be Bud Abbott, he is told to look after the stowaway and even give him a job of loading supplies into a new rocket. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, let's play with the pretty buttons. And the rocket takes off. They fly around like a drunk bird and somehow manage to make a perfect landing. Walking out in spacesuits, they end up in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. So, they naturally think they're on Mars. Clearly a logical conclusion. Meanwhile, two crooks steal the rocket. And now everyone's in space arguing like it's a flying vaudeville act with oxygen. And then, finally, we get the monsters. They land on Venus, which turns out to be a planet run entirely by beautiful women. So naturally, this becomes the most dangerous place Lou Costello has ever been. Queen Allura takes one look at him and says, "Yes, that one. The human panic attack. I will marry it." Lou agrees instantly, because of course he does, and becomes king of an all-female planet, which lasts about 12 minutes before he fails the one rule. Don't flirt with literally every woman you see. He lasts like 3 seconds. The women revolt, the queen gets mad. They get kicked off Venus, go back to Earth, and are somehow treated as heroes, which really lowers the bar for space exploration. And just when Lou thinks he's safe, Queen Allura sends a spaceship across the galaxy, not to destroy Earth, but to drop a cake on his head, which is honestly the most emotionally accurate ending possible. At number 7, we have 1955's Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Bud and Lou are broke in Cairo, which is already a bad start because Lou plus ancient curses is a combination science should really study. They overhear talk of a legendary mummy, Clarice, guardian of a princess's treasure, marked by a magical medallion. And right away, you know what's going to happen. Lou is going to do something incredibly stupid with it. And boy, does he deliver. After a quick murder, some shady cultists, and a businesswoman who screams, "I will absolutely betray you," the boys get their hands on the medallion and decide to sell it. Smart? until they hear it's cursed. Then it becomes a full-blown hot potato routine. Nobody wants to touch it. Everyone's panicking. Until Lou accidentally eats it. Yes, the ancient, sacred, treasure-revealing artifact is now traveling through Lou Costello at a medically concerning pace. Now everyone wants a piece of Lou. They all head to the tomb, where things really go off the rails. You've got a real mummy, a fake mummy, and Bud Abbott, also dressed as a mummy, because why not at this point? So now it's just 3 mummies running around like a haunted laundry pile, while Lou screams at all of them equally. Nobody knows who's real, who's fake, or who's about to explode. Which brings us to the grand finale. Dynamite. Because nothing says careful archaeological excavation like blowing up the curse. Boom! Mummy's done, treasures found, problem solved. And in the most Abbott and Costello ending imaginable, they decide to turn the cursed tomb into a nightclub. Because if there's one thing ancient Egyptian spirits love, it's cocktails and live music. In our number 6 spot, it's 1949's Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, Boris Karloff, which is less monster movie and more everyone in this hotel is a psychopath, except Lou, and even that's debatable. Lou Costello plays a bellboy who discovers a dead body, which is already a bad career move. Because immediately, they blame him. Of course they do. Nothing says guilty like being the only guy in the room screaming. Now he's trapped in a creepy resort hotel with a fake psychic, a seductive murder lady, a bunch of shady rich weirdos, and Boris Karloff. Everyone there has a criminal past, and instead of laying low, they all decide, let's frame the dumbest man alive. So they trick Lou into signing a confession, because paperwork is his natural enemy, and then immediately start trying to kill him. And I mean everyone takes a turn. Poisoned drinks, hypnosis, gunshots through the window. At one point, they lock him in a steam cabinet like they're trying to cook him. And somehow, Lou survives all of it. Not through bravery, not through intelligence, pure accident. At one point, there are so many dead people, you start to think the hotel offers a complimentary murder with every stay. So Lou and Bud try to trap the killer with a clue, a bloody handkerchief, which is great until Lou tells the mysterious masked killer exactly where it is. Final reveal. The killer is the hotel manager. Because nothing says great hospitality like multiple homicides and a blackmail side hustle.
Now after number 5, we have a real monster. Oh no! Mr. Hyde!
Boris Karloff is back in this one, and with a much better part. From 1953, it's Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We're in foggy London, where a series of brutal murders has everyone panicking. Enter Bud and Lou, 2 American cops sent to study police work, because this is the best London can do. They get involved in a riot, get thrown in jail, get kicked off the force. So, naturally, they decide, we'll solve the murders ourselves, because that always goes well. Meanwhile, there's a respected doctor, Dr. Jekyll. Yes, that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. Only this time, instead of deep psychological horror, it's a guy turning into a murderous monster because he's jealous over a girl. Yes, themes of sexual repression in an Abbott and Costello movie. Who knew? Jekyll drinks his formula, turns into Hyde, and goes around smashing people like a Victorian rage monster. And Lou, he actually sees Hyde, which should solve everything, except nobody believes him. Eventually, Lou accidentally drinks one of Jekyll's potions, mistaking it for water. Because drinking any strange open container is just something people do. This turns him into a giant mouse rodent man. And of course, this happens at a bar where everyone freaks out. But after a while, the potion wears off. One thing leads to another, and the big confrontation happens. But in the melee, Lou accidentally sits on Dr. Jekyll's syringe, which turns him into the monster. Now there are two monsters running around London. Big chase, lots of screaming, and Hyde falls out a window and dies. End of monster, right? Wrong. Because Lou Hyde is still out there. He bites a bunch of police officers, then turns back to normal. And just when you think it's over, the inspector and all the cops he bit, they start turning into monsters too. So the movie ends with Bud and Lou running for their lives from an entire police force of Hyde monsters. So the zombie apocalypse, I guess, started with Abbott and Costello. At number 4, we have another mad science potion. In 1951's Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man. Bud and Lou graduate from detective school. Their first client, a boxer accused of murder, who immediately says, "Hey, I've got a plan. Let's make me invisible." You know, with the formula that famously drives people insane. Doctor says, "Absolutely not." The boxer says, "Cool," injecting it anyway. He vanishes. And now Bud and Lou are stuck solving a murder with a guy they can't see, who keeps wandering off like a drunk ghost. So what's the plan? Lou becomes a boxer. Yes, Lou Costello, professional fighter. Not because he's good, don't get crazy, but because the invisible guy is in there beating the other boxer senseless, while Lou just kind of exists nearby, flailing like a haunted windmill. Meanwhile, the bad guys are trying to kill everyone, fix fights, and cover up the murder. And our hero's biggest problem is, how do you pretend your invisible friend isn't currently punching a waiter? Then comes the big fight. Lou is supposed to throw it. Punches flying out of nowhere. The other guy getting demolished again. Final showdown. Gunfire. Gangsters. Panic. They win. The bad guys go down. And everything's wrapped up nice and neat. Until the hospital. They give Lou a blood transfusion from the invisible guy. And for a brief moment, Lou turns invisible, which is already too much power for one man. Then he turns visible again, but his legs are on backwards. No explanation, no science, no follow-up, just backwards legs. Lou Costello briefly becoming a medical nightmare. That's your real monster right there. Now we come to our number 3 movie from 1946. In the time of their lives, we start in 1780 with Lou as Horatio Sweet. Clueless and trying to get married with a letter from George Washington, which is honestly the most overqualified wingman in history. But before he can say, "Please, marry me," everything goes wrong. There's betrayal, spies, Benedict Arnold. Next thing you know, Lou and a nice lady named Melody get shot as traitors. Thrown down a well, and boom, dead. Real dead. Like, surprise, this comedy just killed its main characters in the first act. Dead. Cut to 166 years later. Lou is now a ghost. And not a cool ghost. He's the same panicky, confused guy. Just now, he can walk through walls and still be the dumbest thing in the room. He's haunting the same house with Melody, trying to clear their names so they can finally move on. Enter modern-day 1946 people. They show up for a relaxing weekend and immediately get terrorized by the worst haunting imaginable. Lou Costello discovering electricity. Basically, Thomas Edison is this man's greatest enemy. Eventually, they realize the only way to prove Lou's innocence is to find that stupid letter. Where is it? Oh, just casually sitting inside a clock in a museum in New York. So now this becomes a ghost story mixed with a heist movie. They drag everyone into it, steal the clock, dodge the police, hold a seance, because at this point, why not just try everything? Finally, they open the clock, revealed the letter, and prove Lou didn't betray America. Which is great, because imagine haunting a house for 166 years over a misunderstanding. And the ending. They finally get to go to heaven. Emotional, right? Reunion with loved ones. Big payoff. And Lou gets to the gates. And it's closed ... for Washington's birthday. So, after dying, haunting a house for over a century, solving a historical conspiracy, Lou Costello gets stopped by holiday hours. Now, at number 2, we have 1941's Hold That Ghost. Bud and Lou are gas station attendants who dream of a better life. Which is adorable, because within 10 minutes, they're trapped in a gangster's car during a police shootout. The gangster dies and leaves them his nightclub, because of course he does. Nothing suspicious about inheriting property from a guy named Moose, who just got ventilated by the police. So they head out to claim their prize, a classy joint called the Foresters Club. And it is, without exaggeration, the creepiest dump ever put on film. We've got thunderstorms, flickering lights, random strangers, and water that tastes like it's been filtered through a corpse. But wait, it gets better. There's a hidden fortune somewhere in the building, and a bunch of gangsters lurking around trying to get it, pretending to be normal people, which is hilarious. Because in this movie, nobody is normal. Then the ghost stuff starts. Doors slam. Candles move. People vanish. Lou completely loses his mind, and Bud is trying to act like this is all perfectly reasonable behavior for a nightclub. Then Lou finds out his bedroom turns into a secret casino. Just flips around like a haunted IKEA nightmare. Eventually, Lou finds the hidden money inside a mounted moose head. Cue the gangsters showing up, guns out, chaos everywhere, and Lou defeats them by making police siren noises with his mouth. And it works. And the ending? Oh, it's beautiful. They discover that disgusting water is actually healthy. So they turn the haunted gangster murder house into a luxury health resort.
Those two zanies, Abbott and Costello, are in for a real scare when they meet the monsters.
Ah! Run for it, Abbott!
Lou, it's the monster!
He's got me, Bud!
Boris!
Ah! We're captured!
And now for our number 1. And there is no finer film in the collection than 1948's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Bud and Lou are just trying to do their jobs as baggage clerks, which immediately turns into, hey, can you deliver 2 crates full of legendary nightmares after hours? Sure, why not? What's inside the boxes? Oh, just Dracula and Frankenstein's monster? Completely normal shipping error. Now we add the Wolfman, who is desperately trying to warn them. But every time he does, he turns into a werewolf mid-sentence. Then we meet the real problem. A scientist lady who decides, you know what this monster needs? A new brain. And whose brain does she want? Lou Costello's. They lure Lou to a castle because horror movie rules say you must always go to the castle. He spends the entire time wandering into the basement, bumping into monsters one at a time like it's a haunted meet and greet. Masquerade ball scene, everybody's in costumes, which is the worst possible place to have real monsters walking around. The Wolfman's there, Dracula's there, Lou's panicking, Bud's confused, and nobody knows who's fake anymore. Final act. Everything explodes. Dracula turns into a bat, immediately gets tackled midair by the Wolfman, and they both plummet to their deaths like a gothic WWE match. Frankenstein's monster goes on a rampage, gets trapped in flames, and goes down like a burning building with legs. The evil scientist gets tossed out a window. And somehow, Bud and Lou survive by just running in circles and yelling. And then, a voice. Out of nowhere. The Invisible Man just casually goes, "Hey, fellas!" And that's it. They both jump into the water. No lesson learned, no closure. Just two grown men fleeing from a voice. After surviving Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman, honestly, at that point, yeah, I'd jump too. And there you have it. The top Abbott and Costello meet the Monsters movies. If you made it this far, hit like and subscribe so we can keep doing this sort of thing. Until next time, I'm Gizzy the Gizzard.
Abbott! Look out, a giant killer clown! Oh, what? Run, Costello, run! This way, to the path!